Hello, everyone. This is Miss Nikki, your teacher for nurse aid class. Today, I want to do a recap of what you should be doing or how to maneuver through our website. And we're going to talk about the test, the state exam test, and what they expect. And then we'll go through the first module that you should have already went through. So I'm going to start to share my screen. Okay, so I'm hoping you can see my screen right now. I'm going to go to home first on the internet on our website. Okay, and again, just to recap, you should be. This is our website. To get to the course, you can either go to My Courses or you can go to Our Courses. Either way, but your course in progress would be over here. So even when you take a test, let me just show you that real quick. It will show your progress. So your grade sheet is already on here. I have to make these pictures smaller. So your grades would be right here. And also kind of tells you who's online. Okay. Now let's go to the CNA. Course. Here it says, this is your first page, and you had to put in your code to get here. You also have to be signed in. So either your picture is here, and I hope everybody puts their picture up because I'm wanting to form a collage of pictures for the website. So here you should have watched the introduction video. Always on page 1, if we give you a list of glossary terms, then you want to, anything in red, or I try to put everything in red that's clickable, okay? So if you see it's in red, then you should be able to click on it. The schedule updates constantly every month, so just make sure that's the right schedule for you. And then CNA lessons are right here. And then we get to the end. So the first lesson is CNA lesson 101. I'm clicking on that. And it asks you to do some things. Look at your skills Bible. Okay, what is your skills Bible? Well, I'm gonna have to leave off of here. And what I'll probably do is put a link here. That would be pretty smart. Come over here to CNA textbooks. And you see the CNA Bible Prometric. So this is, oh, it's a Pantheon site. Didn't know that. This is it right here. As a matter of fact, I need to put that in red. So let me just do that right now. Doing anything. So what I did was I titled it CNA Bible and I've made it red. Okay, so when you go to it, let me go ahead and update before I forget. And here is the link. And so it won't confuse you as well. I'm gonna take that block quote out. Okay. And then, let's see. Welcome to Health and Human Service Commission. Anyway, we're talking about how we're contracted with Prometric. Prometric is a company that administers the nurse aid test. So when you're done with everything, they will, with this class, you will have to take a state mandated test to be certified. Also, when you come to the test, you definitely have to put on your mask and wash your hands, so you know all that, of course, with everything going on. This is just talking about how Prometric actually took over in September. So they're new to us as well. Very new provider for us. All right. For the latest CDC information about COVID, you can click on there. Preparing for the exam. Okay, so to prepare for the exam, here's a checklist of things, the skill instructions, all the things that you will learn in class and I will have questions on. And sometimes your test will say, refer to the skills checklist or indirect care behaviors, which we're gonna look at here in a minute. I love CNAplus.com. I'm sorry, CNA.plus, it's not .com. They have practice tests and I like to do that when I'm on a Zoom or in the class with you. We will definitely pull that up and complete. This one I'm going to take out only because this is from our old vendor and it's about COVID and testing. So I'll put a new one up for, well, I've already put the other one up. So just take that out. All right, let's go ahead and update that. And of course it looks different for you. Let me see if I can view the page so you can see what it looks like now. Okay, so I went to CNA textbooks. Here's your skills Bible, so let's click on it. Hope you guys are doing good. Proud of you guys for coming. All right, so we have a clinical skills test checklist. I'm gonna go ahead and read this out loud because there might be some questions and I can give you some answers. Okay, so here we go. It says during training, you learn many skills that are important in caring for residents. There are 22 skills. You guys write that down. There are 22 skills. By the way, whenever I have a Zoom attached, make sure you bring your notepad and your pen and what have you, so you can write some notes down. So we have to learn 22 skills, all right? So that are a part of the clinical skills test. When you are registered to test, a computer will decide which skills will be on your test. So the examiner that comes out, that's hired by the state through a service, they cannot, they don't designate what skills you get. It's already, spun through a computer and shot out, and that's what you get. And she can't change them either. A clinical skills test consists of 5 scored skills. You guys remember that because that's going to be a test question for you. So far 22 skills. And then the clinical side. Now clinical means hands-on. Okay, that's your practical. All candidates taking the test are scored on hand washing and indirect skill. Another test question. Hand washing. So every single one of you guys will have hand washing and indirect care skills. What does that mean? We'll get into that, but just to let you know, it's things like how you take care of them, your demeanor, how you speak to them, safety, privacy, the way you would care for a patient outside of just the hands-on. How do you care for that patient so they're safe and they're more independent and you give them their rights? So they're going to be looking for that. When you take the test, when you take your test, you will be given instructions for the other skills that are part of your test. So if you think about it, if you got hand washing and you got indirect care skills and you got a total of 5 skills, that means there are 3 other skills that we don't know that you will have, right? Okay. Because you may have to learn to perform skills in different ways for different residents' needs, you are given instructions that describe how the skill is going to be tested. For example, if you test on the feeding skill, you will feed a resident positioned in a chair. So not in a bed, in a chair. Remember, you are still responsible for knowing how to feed the resident who are positioned in other ways. So if they're laying flat, can you feed a person? Absolutely not. They have to sit all the way up, 85 to 95 degrees, whatever, something tolerable. 75 is the lowest. And they have to sit in that position even thereafter for up to an hour to make sure, 30 minutes to an hour to make sure that they don't aspirate. You say, well, what is aspirate or regurgitate their food? Where food comes back up through the esophagus and it actually goes down the lungs. That is called drowning. And we don't want that. And they could suffocate. And we don't have that much space in there where we breathe. So if anything gets blocked in there, then we also suffocate, we choke. And of course, that can lead to death and brain damage if we survive. Okay, the knowledge, which they call it the knowledge test. I like that. Love the knowledge test. Also called the written test. May also ask you questions about feeding residents in other positions. So we're going to talk about, in class, you'll learn about the supine. Supine means laying on your spine flat. Do you lay them in the prone position, which they're laying on their face? Absolutely not. They need to be in what's called a Fowler's position. Fowler's position is sitting up. If you're sitting in a chair right now, you are sitting in a Fowler's position. And there are different degrees to Fowler's, but if you're laying flat, you're laying flat. You're not in a Fowler's. As soon as you raise the head of the bed up, I don't care what degree, you are in a Fowler's position. So we want people in a high Fowler's position for feeding. Okay, next. Each skill in the test has checkpoints. The evaluator nurse, which is a nurse, and she's an RN, giving your test, will use these checkpoints to rate your performance. After you complete your test, the evaluator will enter his or her observations into the computer. So all this is computerized. It's so awesome. Whereas before, everything was paper and kind of the old fax machine way. So this is all computerized. Prometric system will then determine your results. Your results will be provided to you on the day of testing. So awesome. Unless a technology issue, such as a printer problem at the test site prevents the evaluator from providing your results. If you are not provided a score, report on the day of testing. See the candidate bulletin, which I'll show you where that's at, for information on accessing your results online. So even if say the printer messed up, it's still in the system. So you could just go online and find out if you passed. Beautiful. The checkpoints for each skill are listed on the pages that follow. So we're going to look at these checkpoints. It is important that you understand that the checkpoints are not written as procedures. These checkpoints are not provided to help you learn the skills, but to help you understand what the evaluator will look for when you're performing the skills. So to say, you don't just have to do the checkpoints. We want you to be natural and flow. We don't want you to be a robot. Okay, checkpoint 1, checkpoint 2, and not go out of your, safety zone. And I want you to just feel like you're really taking care of that patient effectively and passionately, emotionally, that Because if you really care about that